think early is a relative term. Mine says 6:59, I think.
Call a regular meeting of the Cedar Springs City Council to order. Would you all rise and be pleased and recite the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for coming this evening. At this time, I would ask you to turn your cell phones or any electronic devices down to the silent mode and make a roll call vote. Mr. Clark. Mr. Hopkins. Here. Mrs. Nixon. Mrs. Powell.
Here.
Mr. Truesdale. Here. Mrs. Conlon.
Here.
Mr. Hall votes yes here. We have two persons absent. I would entertain a motion to excuse Mr. Clark.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion to excuse Mr. Clark, who is attending a function at CTA this evening.
Second. Mr. Hopkins, second. Move second. Any discussion? All those in favor of excusing Mr. Clark signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed sign no. Motion carries to excuse Mr. Clark. I understand Mrs. Nixon will be here this evening, but she will be late.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion to excuse Mrs. Nixon from being late this evening, or in the event that she doesn't get here at all.
Okay, it's been moved and supported to excuse Mrs. Nixon from, in the event she is late and not making it. Any discussion? It's been moved and seconded. Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed sign no. Motion carries to excuse Mrs. Nixon if she happens to be late. Public comment. The City Council welcomes and encourages the public to speak during the public comment and the public hearing portion of the agenda. However, Council's policy is to hear the public comment, not act on the public comment at this time. Concerns brought before the Council during the public comment portion of the agenda will be referred to the City Manager for action. If, after communication with the City Manager, no resolution is reached, the concerns will be elevated to the Mayor and then eventually to the City Council for action. Those citizens wishing to speak on agenda or non-agenda items will be allowed a maximum of 4 minutes each to address their concerns. This is the only time during the council comment that citizens are allowed to address the council. Please state your name and address for the record. At this time, is there anyone wishing to address this council?
My name is Teresa Hathaway. I'm here representing Alcoa Family Center, 6 North 1st Street, and I want to thank Rose for the invitation to come today. I would like to just share an upcoming event we have coming up June 18th. It's our annual Life Walk. It's our 21st Life Walk. If you wouldn't mind, I've got material. It shows the map that we'll be following on our walk and our latest newsletter too.
Thank you.
And then you will be on the agenda, so you'll have some time to address us again. So.
We're going to add you.
Okay.
So a week from this Saturday, June 18th, we're having our annual Life Walk, and that's a family-friendly event that we put together to raise funds. It's our largest fundraiser of the year, and it raises a major part of our operating expenses as a nonprofit. It's huge. We're expecting roughly 175 to 200 people to come out for the walk. We also have a 5K run. It's our third running of the 5K, and it has progressively grown over the years. We have a clown, we have face painting, we have balloons that we carry along the walk route, and when we get back to the park, we have a balloon release, and we have a time of sharing. I've just been the executive director not quite a year, So I apologize I haven't been here sooner, didn't know I could come here. I'll probably be back on occasion when I want to share other upcoming events that we have coming, but I really want to tell you, I am so blown away by the support that we have at Alpha to the community. Cedar Springs, Rockford, the outlying areas, and it's just blown me away how generous the community is to our center. It's really a blessing to work there and see the community really come around us. So we want to thank you, and I thank you for this opportunity to come and speak tonight.
Thank you. Any other person listening to address the council at this time?
Hi, my name's Sarah Cunningham. Thank you, Rose, for the invite. I just opened up yesterday Simply Creative by Lily C. Lily C's my dog, and it's natural products, handmade by myself, with Michigan sourced products, so olive oils and beeswax and everything else. Very natural, very clean and non-chemical. So it's natural products for you, your home, and your pets. I test everything out on myself, and we've been in business since 2012. I'm also a big knee. Don't hold that against me. So I just really appreciate all the support everyone's already given, and I look forward to you guys stopping in, and we have cake next week. So I think it's good. I've heard it's good. So I appreciate the invite again, and I really look forward to supporting the community along with Terry, since we're neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Any other persons wishing to address this board this evening? Hearing none, moving along. We have no public hearings. Adoption of the agenda. We have several additions.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented with the additions of a item E in the consent agenda, to add a motion to remove the city manager and clerk from the city accounts and to add the interim city manager to the city accounts. And then with an item E under action items, with an addition of policy 12, the ability to waive policy 12, for the Cedar Springs Parks and Recreation request designation for their 2016 concert series as a community event. And then also as item F, under action items, again to waive policy 12 as a, the Alpha Family Circle would be designated as their Walk of Life as a community event that would be held on June 18th.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to adopt the agenda with the changes addressed. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll do a roll call vote. Mrs. Conley?
Yes.
Mr. Hopkins?
Yes.
Mr. Truesdale?
Yes.
Mrs. Powell?
Yes.
Mr. Hall votes yes. The agenda is approved. The consent agenda. We have approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of May 12, 2016, the special meeting of May 9th, and May 26th. Approval of checks paid numbering 38,832 through 38,900, totaling $170,503.39. And the June accounts payable checks numbered 38,901 through 38,909, totaling $15,750.10. The electronic transfers totaling $771.14. All checks and transfers is $187,025.15. Approval of Resolution 2016, a resolution to add delinquent water and sewer accounts to the 2016 summer tax roll. Item D, approve Resolution 2016-15, a resolution to add unpaid invoices to the 2016 tax roll. Item E, a motion to remove the city manager and city clerk from the city accounts and add interim manager to the city accounts.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussions? Just want to clarify, the last motion was to remove our retiring clerk and our past manager from the accounts for signing checks. And we would be appointing Mrs. Barnett as, well, that's a new one, our
No,
deputy
it's a
clerk.
different one. That'll be
But
later.
we'll put the interim manager on to signing checks. So, is there any further discussion? Everybody clear on that? Roll call. Mr. Hopkins.
Yes.
Mrs. Powell.
Yes.
Mr. Truesdale.
Yes.
Mrs. Conley.
Yes.
Mr. Hall votes yes, motion carries. Consent agenda is approved. Discussion items. Visitation municipal facilities policies.
That policy was brought forth, I believe in May, and I'm not sure if it came before that. And after reviewing the policy, preparing for this agenda, I realized that I believe you're covered through the city charter and through another policy that you adopted called professional leadership. So I ask that we take a look at the professional leadership policy. I'm going to be working with Dan Clark on that, and he wanted to look at a couple of the statements in there. We'll take a look at it, make some changes, and bring it back for your consideration in July. I'm not an advocate of adopting a policy if you already have one. So,
Amen.
let's just go with what we have and take a look at it, see if it needs some changes, and not create a new policy.
Yeah. Mr. Clark had stopped and dropped off a letter to me requesting it to be read this evening. In discussion with him, the discussion was that to check if the other municipalities had such a
I have
policy.
checked.
And if not,
Yeah.
he was happy with what we had.
Right. I have checked, and I found one policy, Grand Haven Township, which is almost identical to the policy you have on professional leadership. It looks like whoever did that professional leadership policy asked around, found the one policy I found, and kind of changed it a little bit
Adopted it.
to meet your needs. So I have not found any other. Put it on the manager's listserv. Nothing came back other than the one. So I'll talk with Dan on that, and we'll see what we can bring forth to you in July.
That sounds excellent.
I think
Perfect.
that's a very good path to head.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay, any discussion on that? Council, we're all set. That'd be great to have that happen in July. Moving on to action items. Unfortunately, this is a bad one. We would have to make a motion to accept the resolution of our city clerk. So with all your years of service here and the direction that you've helped the city travel in the last 22 years, it's very much appreciated. There's been hard times, both sides. This is sad that we have to do this, for me in particular.
You don't want to volunteer, I can help you find the spot.
You know, when I retired, it was the hardest decision I made,
It's difficult.
and it was not easy, and there's days I regretted it because of the family here.
Right.
But life goes on. I would entertain a motion to that effect.
Mr. Mayor, I will make a motion to accept the resignation of Linda Brandon, the city clerk.
It's been moved and seconded. Point of order, and the record showing that Mrs. Nixon has arrived at 7:14. This is time for...
Wait, excuse me.
Thank you.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept Mrs. Christensen's resignation.
Oh, sorry, wrong last name.
Well, I've known her as Brandy for...
I'm sorry, me too, sorry. Wrong last name. Christensen.
Okay, Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor, I would just like to say that I wish Linda well, and I hope retirement is fabulous, and we will greatly miss all of those wonderful research-based statements about why we all need to vote. The government teacher really appreciates those. I've even taken a few into my classroom. So, so those will be dearly missed, but I hope you have wonderful days sleeping in and that you get to sit in the sun and drink coffee and not put on makeup and maybe go some places where you get to wiggle your toes in the sand.
That's a lot of info. Okay, I'm gonna call the roll call vote. Mr. Hopkins?
Yes.
Unfortunately, we do. Mrs. Nixon?
Sadly, but yes.
Mrs. Powell?
Sadly, but yes.
Mr. Truesdale?
Yes.
Mrs. Conley?
Yes, and we wish you well.
Mr. Hall will vote no, but I have to vote yes. Thank you for all your years of service. Item B, action, approve resolution 2016-13, a resolution to amend the 2015-16 financial year, or fiscal year budget. So Mrs. Barnett, you get to do this one.
It's just to finish out the year end, to bring the budget, we're not taking any money out of fund balance, we're just moving. We had some, unexpected revenues, and we're using that to take care of some things that went over budget, so not taking anything out of fund balance.
Great.
Wonderful.
Great.
Mr. Mayor, I will make the motion to approve resolution number 2016-13, a resolution amending the 2015-16 fiscal year budget.
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 2016 and a resolution to amending the 2015-16 fiscal year budget. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Mrs. Conley?
Yes.
Mr. Truesdale?
Yes.
Mrs. Powell?
Yes.
Mrs. Nixon?
Yes.
Mr. Hopkins?
Yes.
Mr. Hall votes yes. Motion carries. Item C, motion to approve a roofing bid for 58 South Main Street from Britton Builder, Inc. in the amount not to exceed $5,500.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve a roofing bid for 58 South Main Street from Britton Builders Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $5,500.
Support.
Mr. Truesdale. Mr. Tressel, would you like to speak to this?
This is just, unfortunately, the low bidder was unable to meet their obligation, so we have to switch to the second lowest bidder, which is Britton Builder.
Thank you. Then moved and second. Is there any discussion further?
Is that the, Hanson's building now?
Yes.
And it's a metal roof, right? It's a metal roof?
Yes, that's okay.
Excellent.
Thanks. For us, you know, Hanson Building, we know that from the full folks.
Oh, no. Warren's place, yeah, Warren's place.
I was going to say.
All right. Then moved to second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Hopkins?
Yes.
Mrs. Nixon?
Yes.
Mrs. Powell?
Yes.
Mr. Truesdale?
Yes.
Mrs. Conley?
Yes.
Mr. Hall votes yes. That used to be Dave Carlson's mechanic shop. Right, Bob? Carlson's. Okay, moving on. Item D. Motion to waive policy number 12 to act on resolution 2016-14, a resolution approving the community event for the Cedar Springs Public Library at first consideration.
Mr. Mayor, I'm not sure that we need to waive policy 12 on this. Mrs. Clark was here last month speaking to us about this.
Council's wishes. Mrs. Nixon?
Well, I just,
This is different. That's not.
oh.
No, this is the summer reading program.
Okay,
And Donna was here last month.
Okay,
well, we've always had the chamber be on the agenda twice.
Right.
okay.
The summer reading program was here last month.
I think the point here at hand is, do we waive policy number 12, do we take a vote on it, or do we waive that because they addressed it last month?
And the
What's
main
the
is an
consensus?
item last month?
No, she came and asked to speak at the public
Then I think
thing
it'd be
and that she
appropriate.
be added.
But if we're gonna keep the policy number 12.
Yeah,
as
she
a
just-
Policy, I think we should use it.
I don't
Okay.
mind, but she asked to be added at the last minute last month.
I would
It was a
entertain a
discussion item.
motion to waive policy number 12 on resolution 20.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, I will make a motion to waive policy 12 to act on resolution 2016-14, a resolution approving the community event at the Cedar Springs Public Library as a first consideration.
I second that motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to waive policy number 12 on resolution 2016 for the Cedar Springs Library community event. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, sign no. Policy 12 is waived. I would entertain a motion to approve resolution 2016-14, a resolution approving the Cedar Springs Public Library summer reading celebration as a community event.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve resolution number 2016-14, a resolution approving the Cedar Springs Public Library summer reading celebration as a community event.
I second that motion.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion on that resolution?
When are they having this scheduled?
It starts June 13th.
On your packet.
I'm not sure exactly when the final thing is. Yeah, say it's in our packet.
It's July something.
Yeah.
Okay.
July
Any further
27th.
Pardon?
July 27th?
Okay, so next one. To get everything going. Any other discussion on this motion on the floor?
So, I'm sorry, nothing against the library, but if there's going to be a rule for one, we kind of need to do it for everybody. And if this is not something that's going to hold them up, I feel like we need
Right.
to talk about this next month.
And I'm fine with that too. I just, and again, Donna was here last month. I know.
Well, but it wasn't on the agenda, and it wasn't publicized, and I don't expect any blowback against the library, and that's not what I'm trying to do either, but if we're going to have a rule, we need to apply it evenly.
I agree.
Okay.
Did you already make a motion and approve
Yes.
waiving it though?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's done.
The motion is made and it's been supported, so we'll call, any further discussion, we'll call for the vote. Hearing none.
Mr. Mayor, I'm probably out of line here, but June 13th, Molly, is where they have the open house at the library itself.
Oh.
It will be on city property
Right.
and nowhere else.
Okay, so it's not like the big Morley Park thing they
No,
do.
That's in July.
That's the end of the summer reading program where they have the festivities in Morley Park. The
Okay.
Monday, the 13th, is just held
That's
at
what
the
we're talking
library.
about here.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
I
Okay.
think, it's in, again, I might be out of place, but I think what you're talking about tonight will be the festivities at Morley Park in July to end the summer reading program.
Yeah.
And the reason I know that is we've done this with the library for quite a few years.
It's in the packet on page 48. It shows their summer reading. Their program starts the 6th, or,
The 13th.
the 13th, and then again, July 27th, games and ice cream at the field. The rest of it will be at the library facility.
So the whole thing.
So they need to
Yes,
have this now to have it to the end of the month. Okay?
Thank you for clarifying that, Mark.
Thank you,
Yes,
Mark.
Thank you for clarifying that. I was
Well-
kind of confused too.
We had participated in this with Mrs. Clark's request for several years, and I think there was a little confusion. And I think what you're doing tonight is okaying the community event for July.
For the whole,
I get the impression it was the whole thing.
the resolution is just made out for the celebration at Morley Park.
Oh. Okay, well then I'm
She
confused.
has,
Well, one of the things is that they never did that app before, so this is the first year that they actually did an event app. It had just been overlooked in the past
Sure.
year. So we're trying to get everybody on the same plane,
okay.
and this is, as we can see this, we're trying to do that start now.
Okay.
Because I guess in my mind, from the time it kicks off with the whole big ice cream thing until it ends is the whole event, which I'm totally thrilled about celebrating, and we'll have my kid there, and it's amazing.
Okay, any other further discussion? There's a motion on the floor, it's been supported. I'll call for the vote. Hearing none. Mr. Hopkins?
Yes.
Mrs. Nixon?
Sure. Yes.
Mrs. Powell?
Yes.
Mr. Truesdale? Mrs. Conlon?
Yes.
Mr. Hall votes yes, the motion carries. Now, we have item E, and this would be also an item 12 to waive policy number 12. This is for resolution approving the Cedar Springs Area Parks and Resolutions concert in the park.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to waive policy 12 for item action E, a resolution to approve the Parks and Recreation Concert in the Park Community Series as community events. The dates are July 16th, July 21st, August 18th at Norman Park.
It's been moved and seconded. Okay, any discussion on waiving policy 12? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, sign no. Motion carries. I would entertain a motion to approve resolution 2016-17, a resolution approving the Cedar Springs Area Parks and Rec concert in the park as a community event. From what I understand, with the load that Mrs. Gerhardt has had, she has overlooked this, so that's why we're here tonight.
Yesterday. Or
Okay?
today. Mr. Mayor, I will make a motion to, for the resolution approving the Cedar Springs Area Parks and Recreation Concerts in the Park as a community event with the dates of June 16th, July 21st, August 18th at Norman Park.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there further discussion?
Just to clarify, there's a few things that are not completely filled out yet on the event specifics, and we will leave that to the direction of the city manager, and that we're doing this upon completion of that.
We must get approval from all department heads.
And there's an electrical fee that will need to be established, and clarification of insurance.
We must meet all the requirements of the act.
Yeah. And we will entrust the city manager to make sure that happens.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Mrs. Conlon?
Yes.
Mr. Truesdale? Yes. Mrs. Powell?
Yes.
Mrs. Nixon?
Yes.
Mr. Hopkins? Mr. Hall votes yes, the motion carries. Item F.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to waive policy 12 for action item F, a resolution approving the Alpha Family Circle Life Walk as a community event that's occurring June 18th.
Been moved and seconded to waive policy number 12. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying no. Motion carries. I would entertain a motion to approve resolution 2016-18, a resolution approving the Alpha Family Circle of Life Walk as a community event for June 18th.
Support.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Just welcome to our new director of this, and we're excited to have you in our community.
That's a learn, next year, we get it in earlier. We understand you're new to the area. So, and you'll get to conform with all the,
Yes.
and the interim manager take care of all that, okay?
And the earlier you get it in, the more we talk about it.
Yes, preferably a month prior, because we like to discuss it a month prior, and that's policy number 12. We have that, so we talk about it 1 month, and then we approve it the following month. And we understand you're new, and we're aware of that, and with the Parks and Recs, it slipped their mind with everything, so we do have a mechanism to waive that. It's just, sometimes it's not nice.
Because I was a light walk coordinator last year, and I, did the electric gate for that and everything well in advance. And this year I was you know, there in January, paid for the electric, and the member mentioned to me that there was another application. And I also went with a banner this year too, and was back in one of the city offices for that too, and that was mentioned, so.
Yeah, there's some, yeah.
There's been some transition.
Yeah, and this is a new, this policy of making sure that
We just
we talk about it
revamped it.
twice
Yeah.
is new.
Rose explained that.
We're
no
trying
problem.
to
Yep.
get our community all on board with it, but we think it helps advertise what you're doing too.
Plus, yes,
Well, with the community event status, if I may, that's something you actually have to ask for.
yes.
Because not everything, things are changing. It hasn't always been that way every time you use the park or whatever, that you get community event status. It's just something that's being structured.
And that's a liability for both sides, us and you, to help that, so. Alrighty, any further discussion on this motion on the floor? Hearing none. Mrs. Nixon,
Yes.
Mr. Truesdale,
Yes.
Mr. Hopkins,
Yes.
Mrs. Powell,
Yes.
Mrs. Conley.
Yes.
Mr. All votes yes, motion carries. I think that's all the add-ons we have this evening.
I think so.
Moving on to communications. Manager Bender, would you care to speak to any of that?
Typically, does someone go through them all?
Just if there's any questions. Anybody have any questions on the communications? Our normal monthly right place, monthly update, our Grand Valley Metro Council, weekly updates. The letter from Solon, would you speak to that?
Sure. We received a letter from Solon Township asking that the agreement for library services between the city and Solon be considered terminated. And I believe it's in light of the work with the new library. And the agreement that they have, you get to call for this termination 6 months in advance.
Yes.
So they thought that that was part of the procedure. Next week I'll talk to Donna and ask if I can get a copy of the agreement that they have so I can better understand it. And we have until November 24th on the current agreement.
And in their letter, it does call to that question. The agreement calls for a 6-month notice, so.
Right.
Your notice, and I guess I would refer it to Mr. Sluggett.
Yep.
And all that.
I'd like to see what their attorney has, because it's their agreement, and have them bring that forth to us, and then we can have Mr. Sluggett review it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay?
If I may ask, so it's my understanding of the current agreement that they are paying, kind of sporadically, but paying for use of our library and to be plugged in. Are they going with KDL, or are they just not going to have library service?
No, I think they're going to stay with your library, but I think the agreement's going to change because of the new plans for the new library.
Oh, I see.
So they're just looking forward to the future.
Okay, very good.
Probably the budget will change, different things will change with that agreement in light of the new library.
Okay.
I think there's also been some push to create more equity, and I think that this is actually Solon's attempt to maybe address that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Solon is required to be with either us, our library, or with Kent County. Ours is less expensive. So this, and there's been talk, this is the rumor, that they are planning on contributing more.
Okay.
So, for what it's worth, we'll know once we get this hashed out. Region 8 newsletter, and then the Michigan Municipal League letter thanking us for being with them for another year. Also, I might remind everyone that on your calendars for our upcoming June 17th meeting, I believe I'm right, there are too many dates, yes. 17th at 10 o'clock here at City Hall, we will be interviewing 4 new candidates, hopefully, for our manager position.
We began interviews at 10:30, the meeting
10
starts at
o'clock,
10.
the meeting's at 10.
Okay.
So we should all be here at 10.
Correct.
Maybe a few minutes late.
Fine.
Like I said, I
That's
got
fine.
that meeting.
Well, we will discuss that in the meeting, that we
Right.
had some issues there, and being that you're contributing to that.
Answer my clients and my classes for that day, but
Good job.
Thank you for that.
Yes. Okay, interim manager, Mr. Dunn, do you have something?
No, I just would again like to thank the staff for working with me in my first week. They've been awesome. I think we're starting to move forward. I'm starting to understand some things and some projects that you're working on, and I look forward to continuing with all of you and with the city staff until you hire a new manager. You have a good thing going here. Your community looks great. Had the opportunity to take a tour. Looks really nice, and you have a good staff. So I think everyone's heading in the right direction. Feels really good. Also, at the next meeting in July, we are going to talk about assessing and the city clerk's position. I just need some time to look into that and hope to bring forth some information for you in July. Just wanted to make sure that everybody had copies of the ordinance or online or an ordinance book to take a look at, because there are a few extra copies in the office that we could sign out if you'd like one. Probably easy to work with it online. Some people, like me, like the hard copy. It's just easier for me because I always lose the screen, like Rose did. So it's just easier for me. So if you'd like to actually have a hard copy, if you don't have one, let me know. And the last thing, I'm going to turn over to Linda to talk about a new website that's going to be launched next week. It's a pretty
So exciting.
exciting, positive thing. So Linda, if you want to talk about it, it's been your project. And
the new website, which you previewed a couple months ago with Stacy, is set to be launched on Tuesday. We've worked really hard one morning this week trying to find out any mistakes that needed to be taken care of and addressed and whatever. A few more things I need to transfer from the old site over to the new site, but she needs to get hold of the hosting webmaster, and so that they can shut down the old system, and just so that when someone comes in, they can get the new system up right away. We tried really hard to get all of the mistakes and tweaks made, but I'm sure that there's going to be tweaks and things that you're going to want corrected, so please feel free to let us know, and we'll take care of those.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's a lot of work in there. Who's taking care of it after you've gone?
I don't know.
I think that's probably our problem. It's not a problem.
It won't be me either.
That's a big job.
Yes.
Hopefully, customers and residents will see that it's customer service oriented as far as the community event form, for instance, updated on that, and that will help them work better with City Hall if they're unable to come in. It's just another way to serve the residents and business people in the community.
Being Mr. Hopkins and I on the planning commission, we have a lot of people who come there and they get a lot of resources from the ordinances and the zoning and all that off of that. So, and then that is really, really nice.
Yep, it is very nice.
One of the biggest things about the new website is that it's, you'll be able to get the whole website on your phone.
Oh.
Where before, like for right now, you have to keep moving it around and trying to get everything, but the whole page will appear on the front of your phone now.
I have trouble getting the phone to answer. How am I going to do that?
Maybe it's not meant for you.
Thank you. Any other information?
No.
Okay. Department of Public Works reports. Any questions? The streets are looking great. That paint really makes them pop.
Nice, doesn't it?
Thank
It
you.
does.
I just have one thing, I'll be on vacation the last week of this month. Bill LaRose will be filling in for me while I'm gone.
Okay. Do something fun and fabulous.
Who's painting?
I ain't painting.
Oh, you'll be going. Thank you, Tom.
debate versus getting a vacation too.
Yeah, there you go.
Officer Kelly, I understand he has requested to be excused tonight because his son is some award or something.
Some award, might get all conference tonight.
Yes.
Make sure to be there, very important.
Very.
So big shout out to Mr. Kelly, Sergeant Kelly, for being a great dad and for celebrating the wonderful achievements of his son.
Also, as a note too, the school has hired a patrolman to be there on campus full time, and Mr. Kelly noted that. And so they will be taking bid applications from the county officers, and next fall we'll have a school officer, which is great.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, that's a nice item. Our fire chief, Mr. Chief Fraser.
I don't have anything as far as the fire department goes. I don't know if council has anything that they're willing to fabricate an answer. I do feel, however, at this point in time, maybe old Mrs. Van Buren, an apology for stepping in about the library.
No, you were totally appropriate.
It was just something that we've done, and thought maybe I could enlighten a few council members as
I found it helpful.
Thank you, Mr. Fraser, because obviously we were all still confused about the structure of the community event.
And then once you mentioned it, then it's like, yeah, my grandson wouldn't get out of your truck last year.
well, there was another one a year.
There was. I think he made maybe 5 or 6 trips through that truck.
Item
We
E.
had to about feel him out.
Mrs. Christensen, do you have anything?
No, I think my report says it all.
It's a thousand, thank you. Mrs. Burnett.
No, just one thing to add in my report. I have one personal property tax bill that I'm still working on, and I'm working with them, so
Good.
that's the last one.
Thank you for working with him.
Code enforcement. I have it in your report, in our packets. Any questions of that? That's a very good enlightenment of you, Mrs. Christensen, on your council packet. Many jobs, many things. Building inspection. Any discussion on that? Boards and commission meetings. We have planning commission meeting. We just had a planning commission meeting the other night. We approved that site for new business, Hydrovac Inc.
Yeah.
We'll be building a new facility out on Lake Creek Avenue behind Northwest Kent Mechanical. It'll be a big storage garage building with Hydrovac and vacuum trucks. Great addition out there.
Those trucks sound really cool. I tell you.
Yeah, there. And then next month, we have, I believe, Rockford Ambulance. If we have a quorum for the planning commission, it's July 5th, so it might be a tough, but they would like to come for site plan approval. At this stage of the council, of the agenda, we have council comments. Let's start with Mrs. Powell.
Okay, our volunteer, Kent County Sheriff's volunteer trail patrol meetings were yesterday. We didn't have a huge turnout, but at this time we have 4 new volunteers for at least the Cedar Springs area. One of them's Linda Christian's husband, was kind enough to volunteer.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was very pleasant, and I hope the others enjoy it as much as I do. And I can't believe Linda won't be here next month, but
Mrs. Conley.
I am so excited about all these wonderful events that are coming, from the library to the concerts in the park, to the Ren Fair that's starting tomorrow, to the Life Walks. So many exciting things happening in our community, and I'm really grateful to see all those wonderful things happening. That's super exciting. And thank you to Marty for helping to clarify when we're struggling with exactly what something looks like. That's part of why our community works so well, is because everybody does kick in and do what needs to get done. And Linda, oh my gosh, may the force be with you. I hope you get to do fabulous and wonderful things.
Thank you. Mr. Hopkins?
Just to clarify, Mary, I wasn't confused, I just didn't know what you're talking about.
Me too.
As Pam was saying, we got the Renaissance Fair coming up this weekend. You know, the few 3-day events we have in town.
An annual.
This annual, the 3rd annual. We're gonna have Alice in Wonderland characters mixed in with Renaissance characters. Some of the Renaissance geeks, they don't like the idea of bringing in mixing steampunk, as they call it, with Renaissance, but it's safe to keep the stuff our way. But then, next month we'll have Christmas and July sidewalk sales, and one of the members of CBDT happened to sponsor the band Main Street, so we'll have a concert on the 9th, and after the sidewalk sales get done. Still within our parameter of time frame that we got for our event. Yeah, biggest hold up is we just get consumers to put a temporary pole up there, so there's maybe a work order involved.
Oof, good luck.
The electrician I talked to said, we can get our part done, no problem, it's consumers that hook up it. So beyond their time.
Yes. And move at the speed of consumers. You okay? Thank you. Mr. Truth now.
Well, I'm liking the tempo of these council meetings and the cooperation of various city employees, and seems like we're moving on. The past is behind us, and some exciting things coming down the pike. And an old fellow like me, it is exciting.
Time is on your side.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mrs. Nixon.
Well, and a thank you to Linda for 22 years of your life. I don't know how you survived, because I got to tell you, the last couple sitting in this seat's been interesting. So thank you for your time, because that's valuable. And thank you for the passion that you've shown for voting. I'm there with you, so hopefully we'll be rah-rahing people to come vote. I do appreciate all the time you've invested in us. And I also, on a separate note, I will be looking into how to clarify policy 12, because we haven't put the education out to be able to enforce it, and we're consistently waiving it. I gotta tell you, it doesn't sit well, so I'll marinate on that.
Thank you.
And that is all.
Well, this is probably a first for Mrs. Christensen to end me a 45 or 48-minute council meeting.
Start going late, doesn't it?
Yeah. And, I do, you'd be a hard person to fill your position, member. You've been here a long time, you know the ins and the outs and the ropes, and your spot will be hard to fill in the future. And I wish you the well. Now you can start traveling. And, yeah, enjoy. Take a trip. I went out west. You gotta go down to Arizona anyway, and Carlsbad Cavern right there. It's great. So,
He's your trip director.
I can't believe I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adjourn.
We are adjourned.
All right.
The shortest meeting
Oh, cake. Do you want cake? Linda, I will buy you a cake. No?